The Parallax millwork library also comes with a file that includes a number of standard details, one standard detail for each type of cabinet in the library. The way this is intended to work is that each component that you are loading into a file has an integer like base 23 or base 45. There is a detail for each one of these numbers, whereas then there are different types that show all of the different dimensional changes between those types. So as you populate your project with millwork, we can go back to the schedule and see that base cabinets 12, 23, 24, and 45 are used in this project. Those are the details that we now want to load in. If you go to the Insert ribbon and go to Insert from File, Insert Views, you can then navigate to wherever on your company library you have stored the drafted details. For the sake of this demo, we'll go to the Drafted Views folder in 2018 and we'll select the millwork file. If you click on Open, you'll get prompted to pick a number of views to load, or you can choose to load in entire sheets. As a tip, the first sheet that you can load in is the sheet that has the generic explanation for how the millwork library works, as well as the base and full height cabinet schedule, the upper cabinet schedule, and the countertop schedule. The next three sheets have the details themselves. There is one sheet that has all of the base cabinet details. There is a sheet that has all of the upper cabinet details. And there is a sheet that has all of the full height cabinet details. Your firm may have chosen to edit these details to reflect your firm standards, as these details are currently drafted fairly generically to match Parallax standards. If you don't want to bring in the entire sheets, you can also bring in just the details that you have loaded in this project. So as we said we needed base cabinet 12, you'll pull in this detail here, which you'll see this detail is meant to be used for both base 11 and base 12. If you remember from the PDF guide, that's because in section base 11 and base 12 look the same. Base 12 simply has two doors instead of one door. So we'll load in base 12 and base 45. You'll see that the drafted detail comes in, and it basically has a series of detail components and notes to call out the general information of the cabinets themselves. For things like countertops, it says to refer to the drawings and or the schedule, and you'll notice that all of the actual dimensions are pointing to the schedule of the live countertops themselves. This means that you don't have to worry about your drafting views having an overly specific dimension that can then conflict with the model that you've changed because you edited the type properties. These details, while not actually showing the dimensional information, are always referring to the actual size of the project. If you've brought in individual details, you now then simply need to place them on a sheet. However, if you've brought in the entire sheet, you'll get a fully loaded sheet of base cabinet details. You'll see base 11 and 12, base 21, 22, 23, and you'll see that the HC cabinets have their own details that accounts for the toe kick being fastened to the doors themselves. These details can then be used or modified to suit your firm's needs.